Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming here to this video today. I really want to present you a interview I've been trying to have happen, but things get in the way. And this is Zack Simmons from Goatwhore. He plays drums, and he's been doing so for about a couple of decades now. I hope you like this interview and enjoy the listen. Alrighty. So you started when you're what? So fourth, fifth grade. That's like 10 years old, right? Um,
I was 8. So I think I was a year early in school. So yeah, I was about 8 when I picked up my first snare drum.
yeah. How old were you when you got like a full kit?
I must have been 11, 10 or 11, I think. Uh, got my first Pearl export kit. It's like they're not totally beginner, but a beginner kind of kit. A lot of people started out on Pearl export, and yeah, it was pretty good
Mhm.
for what I needed it for. I still have it. You know,
Mhm.
haven't used it in a long time, but it's still around.
Yeah. So what music did you grow up like listening to? Were your parents the type to listen to music?
They 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 had their own thing going on, but through my uncle, I had a kind of rock and roll uncle that made me mixtapes and gave me all his old vinyl and gave me a bunch of like taped VHS copies of old Headbangers Ball episodes. Just sit and watch all that. So through kind of his guidance, I kind of grew up on the trajectory of like someone who was a generation older than me. So I grew up
Mhm.
on Kiss, Black Sabbath, Ozzy, stuff like that, and that's what still like most today, honestly.
Mhm.
So, and I guess that kind of puts me. I have a lot more in common with my band members because they are a generation older than me. So I think that kind of worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I think that in general when you're in a band, or just you're just a musician in general that likes to play, I think everybody kind of has that appreciation for the classics, where
I
trying to
don't know
think.
how long I lasted in Goatwhore though. If I came in at 17 and
Mhm.
all I was listening to was Slipknot or something, I think Sammy would have beat me up pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of, I mean, I'm just trying to think like in chronological order, but that is something I wanted to bring up. The connection that you have with Sammy is like, you guys have this energy that I don't know how to really put into words. But sometimes with certain songs, it's so playful. Like you will be playing drums, and then Sammy kind of like bounces off of that. And then with some of Sammy's riffs, it's like you bounce off of him. I mean, I don't know if you feel that way, but.
Yeah, it's we kind of accent off each other, and well, it's just kind of because another thing too is a lot of the songs or all the songs pretty much start out just me and him, guitar and
Hmm.
drums, and we jam those songs like that for a long time until anybody else has any input. So
Hmm.
I guess fill it out, and I don't know, just jamming together so much, and
Hmm.
pick up on each other's little traits. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
a pretty natural thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you guys have chemistry. I mean, you guys really do. I think, for example, one song that comes to mind for me is, from Vengeful Ascension, Mankind Will Have No Mercy. The way you, like, start off that song, oh gosh, I can't imitate it without sounding so silly, but the way you start playing, I mean, it's like very playful, it's like when I hear that song, for example, sometimes the way you play reminds me a lot of like a cat playing with a ball of yarn. Like, it's just playful. It's just playful.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
And then with that album especially, it's kind of like Sammy. Like I said before, he bounces off of that. He ricochets off of the way you play, and then back to you. Um, I mean, so how did that work? Was that just natural chemistry, or is that something you guys progressed to like towards through time?
It's definitely nothing like conscious that we set out to do, but yeah, it's totally subconscious, and it's probably something that grows like unbeknownst to either of us, like just over time, evolving as a musician, getting better or worse at something, hopefully better. But um, yeah, it's just like kind of a natural evolution, and you just kind of
Hmm.
a lot of the times I'll be playing a new riff, and it just feels so natural because I kind of know where, just by process of elimination, like where it's going to go next. So it's easy to kind of,
Hmm.
I don't know, it's got each other figured out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like natural chemistry to me, honestly. You guys, I mean, from the start, just clicked. I can really tell. I mean, because how was it to record with them? When you first did. Like, were you scared when you got on to play for like a haunting curse?
No. Well, maybe it's not really. I was like an excited 18-year-old, and I was 18 when I recorded that. So I was just excited, it was just full of energy. I'm just like ready to go. Stay in the studio. It's just like got up real quick. Oh no, we will have to do this and it sounds like when can I play? When can I play? I'm stoked to go.
Yeah.
But uh I wasn't worried or people I guess warned. I remember being warned going in that like, oh, Rutan's a hard ass. He's a real ball buster. And he is if something's not right. But luckily, everything flowed pretty smooth, and I didn't get my balls busted too hard. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand. I mean, I've heard that a lot, with plenty of the bands I listen to that have recorded with Rutan. Um, so you had kind of, would you say accidentally, or how do I put this? Did you ever envision getting this far with Goatwhore?
Uh, I don't know. Not really. Honestly, it's just kind of testament to how time moves so quick,
Mhm.
and like my mom used to ask me, and probably still asks me, like, "What's your 5-year plan?" It's just like
Oh God.
just gonna keep doing what I do.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Shit. Sorry.
Still digging what I do, and other people dig what I do. It's and just keep doing it. I don't know. So that's just kind of been the operating, it's how it's been, and it's time to
Yeah.
fucking flies by, especially when
Hmm.
the cycle is like album and tour for 2 years, 3 years. It's just like
Hmm.
you look back, you're like, man, that record was 10 years ago. Holy shit!
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like, damn, 2014 was 10 years ago. Ugh, you know. I mean, 2017's 7 years ago. It makes me feel weird.
I like having like those marker points with like
Hmm.
when an album comes out. It's just like it's easy to go back to that time. It's like, oh yeah, that record, blah blah blah, and you can access it like like a little boatload of memories from that little era,
Hmm.
and then you remember tours for the record, and yeah, it's a good little like markering system or time,
Hmm.
bookmarks of time.
Yeah. Do you save like every, I don't know, piece of recording material or like little doodads from the time period, like from every album?
Yeah, I'm pretty I have every demo, every like throwaway demo from every records like saved. It's funny, you go in my iTunes like under Goatwhore, it actually saw this the other day. 666 songs. And that's pretty
Mm.
sweet. But yeah, that's how many songs I had between rough mixes, demos, the actual album material, live shit. Yeah, I collect all that stuff, but as far as just like flyers, I've never been really good at collecting just random stuff. And I wish I would have kept a little more along the way, but still, like sometimes on eBay, if I find like an old uh, like Jägermeister T-shirt design, I'll buy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still have a bunch of stuff from back in the day, but I don't know. I like having old shit like that.
Mm-hmm. No, that's so sweet. You're sentimental,
It's either that or I'm looking at making some money on it.
My God. I mean, I guess like I have this not that you can see it, but I have this pedal from Steel Panther that was used only once, and I'm like, I should probably get rid of that. I don't use it really. But hmm.
What's it called? It's like the pussy melter or something.
Yes. I mean, it'll show. It's a little dusty.
Hell
Of course it's backwards, but that's the pussy melter. But I don't use it. I was not to be all like, some people are like, "Oh, pity me." Like I'm not that type of person, but legitimately I was actually electrocuted about 7 years ago. And so like this hand, I can only sort of feel function in these two fingers. So so I pretty much gave up guitar to sometimes play piano instead. So something like, electric guitar, I'm like, yeah, I can't use the pussy melter. I don't know. Do you want the pussy melter?
yeah. I love Steel Panther, and I'm sure that pedal get gonna make me have some hot licks on the guitar, but you never
Do you ever play guitar?
know. Yeah. Um,
Really?
I used to play a lot more, but I'm looking at getting a new ESP here pretty soon, so I'm gonna start playing some more and just write my own shit with myself.
Are you going to be like a one-man band?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it for fun.
Can you do vocals?
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Why not? I mean, what would you sound like? Would you be like Rob Halford, or would you be like Phil Anselmo?
I think if I were to do vocals, I would probably sound like something like Matt Pike.
Hey, you know what? Plenty of people love Matt. A lot of people love his stuff. Um,
I would
oh God.
I would leave my shirt on if I sang like him though. I wouldn't want to
Oh,
totally
come
mimic him.
on. Come on. No, no. You can't you can't imitate him and then have your clothes on. That's against the rules.
Yeah, I just want to give him some breathing room. I don't want to jock his style completely, so I would keep it
He'll
simple.
sue you for like copyright infringement or outfit copyright. I don't know. I don't think that's a thing, but
Matt Pike appropriation. I just can't.
yes, exactly. Exactly. Um totally off track. Totally off track what I was thinking about. But so so you had, if I remember correctly, I think you told me, or maybe I just read it somewhere, that you initially had, I guess you would say, filled out an ad. I'm putting the quotation marks in here to join Goatwhore, right? Something along the lines of that, right? And there was like these auditions.
Yeah, there was just like a post on their website at the time with Ben's email address. It listed 6 songs. Like, learn these songs. Email Ben at this address if you want to set up an audition. So I learned the songs. sent them an email, set up an audition, came down here, uh, played the songs. They asked if I wanted to play anything else. I'm like, yeah, let's do this one, this one, this one. I guess they're happy with it, and then yeah, they like, when can you move down here? Oh, I got to graduate high school. I got that out of the way. And then a week after high school was done, I moved down to New Orleans and yep, lived here off and on for a long time. But
Hmm.
yeah, that was the start of it.
Yeah. How did I mean, your parents react? I mean, I've heard that they were very supportive either way, but were they like, our son is part of the Goatwhore band? Like, were they like, Goatwhore? What the hell?
Yeah, they were kind of, I don't know. I'm sure as any parent in that
Well, yeah.
maybe a little side eyed about it. And especially, I think my mom was a little more savvy. She would go online and like uh, look look up interviews and search interviews with Sammy. Like Sammy's talking about drugs and Satan, and she was worried. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. Be all right.
Before I forget, though, before I forget, so how familiar were you with Goatwhore before you joined them? Were you like, I kind of know their stuff, or were you like, oh yeah, I listen to them all the time?
Yeah, I was still one of my favorite bands. My local band opened up for them. It was like right before Funeral Dirge came out.
Mhm.
And they were on tour with Immolation and Grave. My local band opened up for them then, and anytime they'd come through, um, for that, I'd go see him. So I went and saw him, Creator Nile, Monomarth, Goatwhore, and yes, I think Sammy remembers me because the time on the ticket, uh, basically the show started an hour before the time on the ticket. So I showed up like and they had two songs left, and there's hardly anybody there. I ran straight up to the front of the stage, sort of banged my head, and Sammy remembers that. And I got a set list from that show, and that's what I use because I learned the six songs in the little audition post or whatever, but I learned everything else on that set list. So I think that kind of uh, gave me some points in the audition, just going above and beyond
Mm-hmm.
and some extra shit, you know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, if anything, well, I would say it's better to have an obvious fan of the band join the band as opposed to just like, oh, yeah, it's just a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I was super stoked and passionate about it. And I just love the band. I love style, and I kind of really fit in with how I played anyway. So yeah, it was
Hmm.
worked out pretty well.
Hmm. What's your favorite song from the first album, Eclipse?
Man, probably graved them.
Really?
Yeah,
See,
probably graved them or Beauty and Suffering's good. I don't
hmm
know. There's so many good ones.
hmm
Have to be learning a lot of that stuff again pretty soon. So
which, by the way, if you don't mind, my favorite song is Graveyards and Dead Angels, and I am waiting for you guys to play that. I've been waiting for you guys to play that one.
well, perhaps somewhere in South Texas next year.
Probably my favorite album from you guys with Goatwhore would be A Haunting Curse. And now that's the first album you were on. Um, for me, I really like that album because listening back to it, there's a lot of kind of like anger. I mean, and there's anger, of course, in every metal album, but do you do you feel that way? Like, if there was a main emotion with that album, what would you say it was?
Oh yeah, definitely aggression.
Hmm.
Pissed off album. I think all of us just kind of like, all right, can we play it faster? All right, play it faster. It's kind of one of those things where we just wanted it to up the intensity of everything, because yeah, it's just we're all on board just to kind of push it to the limit and
Hmm.
make it as gnarly and pissed off as possible without falling apart.
Yeah. You guys aren't going to do like a 180 and make like a soft jazz album next?
No, we tried that and yeah, it just didn't really work out. So,
Why not? Especially since like half the band is actually from Louisiana. Isn't that like the jazz capital? You
yeah,
know,
we were trying to go more like yacht rock because I heard that's kind of an emerging genre again. So, but yeah, it just didn't really work out.
hey, a lot of people just like to chill. I mean, I don't. Would you even be able to play anything chill? Because I've never seen you go slow.
Yeah, I can play some chill stuff. You know,
Really?
yeah, if I had to.
I mean, the slowest Goatwhore song is still like, I don't know, like running a marathon.
Yeah, that's the one thing in the goat horse set that it takes a little work is whenever we do add a slower, like maybe a song that requires a little more dynamics than aren't full on just like
Hmm.
one fucking set volume, which is as loud as you can be. It takes a little work to just to kind of get in the mindset of maybe not, you don't have to wail on crash the whole time. It's not how the song is supposed to be.
You mean to tell me you're not really ready to play smooth jazz?
I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Maybe one out of like a little older. I still got some extreme years in me. So don't.
Hey, there's plenty of people they go around all genres. I can't think of anybody, but
It's all good, but I want to do that when I'm old, and I can't do the same.
what counts as old? Like 70?
It's all in your mind, I guess. But when my body says "fuck you" to playing, you know, hard and fast, then
When
then
it's
I'll
like
start.
old and arthritic,
Then I may
decrepit.
start.
Well, do you think Sammy would ever get too old to play metal?
No, no, yeah, it's all in your mind. It's like Lemmy said, if you think you're too old and you are, but
I agree.
definitely, I guess for him, guitar's a little easier to play. Not easier to play, but less like physically demanding on your whole
Oh
body.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
But who knows? You see Tommy Aldridge, 70 years old, still playing as good as he did when he was, in the fucking 80s. So
Hmm. Yeah.
I think things are coming a long way with like health and fitness and supplementation and everything like that. Who knows? I think people are able to do strenuous activities far longer in their lives than they were
Hmm.
20 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I agree. Not to focus too long on the subject of, the stupid like pandemic, but how different was it recording during that time period as opposed to before everything had to shut down? Like, was it a huge difference recording for Angels as opposed to Vengeful Ascension?
Not really, honestly. I mean, you're just kind of stuck in a studio, and were, yeah, we spent like 5 or 6 weeks in Bogalusa, Louisiana, and the studio was on a property with a house. So we only left that property like once a week just to go buy groceries.
Mhm.
It was just like any other record. You're just like stuck in the environment and working and just immersed in what you're doing. So
Mhm.
didn't we weren't thinking about anything else. We're watching the news or we're just working on a record.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of business as usual. And it was nice to be away from no, it always is nice to be secluded like that and just get away from everyday life and being around tons of people and just being around the people you're working with and seeing this thing you're trying to create just being built upon day by day until
Mhm.
it's the last day in the studio and then you send it off to get mixed and it's cool to see it start from the ground up.
Or I guess who? Like, is there typically like somebody that starts on a song first? Like, does Sammy be like, "Oh, I got a riff," and then you guys go from there? Or is it just kind of different? Like, does TA be like, "Oh, I have this," or you like, "Oh, I have that," and guys build off of it? Or
It always starts with Sammy and the riff.
yeah.
Yeah, it always starts with the riff. Uh, you know, the context can change. Maybe the song idea will start like, man, that sounds like a cool middle part, or that sounds like a cool intro or beginning part, and then
Mhm.
kind of get there. And then a lot of the times lately, Samuel send like a full skeleton of a song,
Mhm.
um, out to everybody ahead of time. So then when we all get together, we had learned it and then we can make little changes and alterations. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways we've done it, but we used to just me and him just sit down with a boombox full of riff tape and just listen and listen and listen and then like, all right, I like that one and then this one, let's get behind the kit. He'll pick up the guitar and we'll just jam through it. Like, oh no, it didn't work, and we'll go back to the fucking boombox, listen some more
Mhm.
until something else pops up. That was how we used to do it, but now it's I've got his riff library on my computer, so I can sit at
Mhm.
home and then just make little notes of like, all right,
Mhm.
riff 262 into blah blah blah, and just make little notes for myself, So
Mhm.
it's got a little easier due to technology and stuff like that. It's not
Mhm.
as time consuming, so that's always good.
Yeah. That's I don't know how to put it other than it's so fun. That just sounds really fun, you know? It's like, oh yeah, I have all these riffs, you know? I mean, do you have like a drum riff library?
I've started like a little kind of added to my like home recording setup. So I do have like a little bank of ideas that I record into a little folder. Just that if I'm just practicing by myself and I get a cool fill idea or beat idea that I don't want to forget, I'll record it real quick and just
Mhm.
save it somewhere, to be used later with something. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it always sucks to forget those kind of off the cuff ideas you get.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we could talk maybe a little bit more about the band dynamics. Would you say that like there's sort of like a leader and you guys are kind of like, okay, boss, or is everybody of the same type of, I guess you'd say, bargaining power? Like, everybody has the same amount of input.
Yeah, it's a democratic situation. Everybody's opinion matters
Hmm.
in that aspect. You know what I mean? It's not like one person's my way or the highway or anything like that. But yeah, depending on the situation, I'm sure Ben would definitely be the leader in terms of he handles a lot of like logistics and stuff for the band and dealing with merch and merch designs.
Hmm.
You're like even something like yesterday when I fly into town, TA gets in tonight. He's
Hmm.
making trips back and forth to the airport, so he does a lot of
Hmm.
work his
Hmm.
ass off in that aspect in any band he's been in. Just kind of being the hands-on kind of leader in the
Mhm.
band. And then Sammy's, I guess, like leadership role would be, he's the fucking riff master, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that's,
Oh yeah.
you know,
You know.
and also at the end of the day, it is his band. He started the band. He was, I
Mhm.
guess, the first founding member of the band. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
everybody has their own role that adds to the scenario, and everybody pulls their own weight, stuff like that. But, yeah, but when it comes to like making a decision that affects all of us, everybody has input, and we respect each other's opinions.
Do you feel like your role is very integral to the band?
Uh, Probably in ways that I don't fully realize. I always try to go above and beyond, and definitely keep my own little scenario in order with drums and keep that all
Mhm.
in check. And yeah, so
Mhm. I mean, if you weren't in the band, it wouldn't be the same, and I'm not just saying that. You know,
yeah,
I mean, nobody could play. I don't think anybody could play like you do. It wouldn't be the same.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, not that I'm doing anything that's groundbreakingly hard, but everybody's got their own style, and some things are harder to mimic. There's some dudes that I could never play like. I could play their parts, but I couldn't play like them. But who knows? I just try to do what I do, and I'm sure by now, if I were fucking up really bad, someone would let me know. So I don't know. Just keep rolling with it.
Well, I mean, from the outside, I mean, having been to the shows, I mean, let me put it to you this way. I've gone to shows that weren't even about Goatwhore. Like back in January, I went to see one of TA's other bands play, and I was taking pictures, of course. And this guy comes up to me, because TA and I were talking to each other, and this guy comes up to me. He was like, "Oh, so you like know him?" And I'm like, "Oh, we talk, da da da." And I don't know how. Of course, we started talking about Goatwhore, and this guy, he just had told me, "Yeah, their drummer, that kid is so good." And of course, he was like that kid because he was like completely white hair, right? But I mean, there's so many people that really do believe in you, you know. I mean, you're really good. You're really good. And believe me, I mean, playing, I would say playing as fast as you do live, like 7+ nights in a row, is not something many people could do for sure.
Yeah, and probably after doing it, not something they'd want to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I know you guys work hard. I see the tour schedules you guys will set up, and I think, my God, y'all are insane. 7+ days in a row. I mean, how do you even do that? How do you find the energy?
It's a blur, man. You just trick yourself. You know,
Is it drugs? I mean, it's okay. It's okay if it's drugs.
no, that's not really sustainable.
Yeah.
I mean, anything you're trying to do like that, you're gonna crash and burn eventually. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just like Groundhog Day. You're just like, all right, it's like
Yeah.
different place, the same fucking thing. It's like load in, blah 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 blah. It's the hamster on a wheel. So
Yeah.
if you're good at like just getting into a routine, that you'll be good at touring, because touring is
Mm-hmm.
that's all it is. It's a routine.
Mm-hmm.
Set it up, break it down, get in the van, go to sleep.
Do do like multiple people drive the van, or is it like one person that usually does?
Normally we have a driver that does most of the driving, and then Ben will help out with you know with any other long drives, and then occasionally I'll step in, or TA, or yeah, when needed. But for the most part, we hire a driver that does majority of the driving.
Sammy doesn't drive. He's probably not allowed to drive, is he?
No, his eyesight. It's too bad. He can't even get
Mm-hmm.
a license. His eyesight. So
Really? Is he like legally blind?
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. I know people like that legitimately have some like extended family members that are like blind in one eye and so, technically they can't drive, but at least where we live you kind of have to, unfortunately. Do you like stop it like do you guys end up in a lot of places in the middle of nowhere where it's like 200 miles to the next rest stop?
yeah, I mean, sometimes if it's an emergency, we've had dudes who have to do their business off the side of the road. Just got to do what you got to do. But yeah, been in pretty shitty rest areas, gas stations in the middle of nowhere, truck stops, just whatever. It's what's available. But yeah, you got to go. You got to go. So pull
Fair.
over,
Fair.
jump out, do your thing, and keep going.
What's your favorite food in general? I mean, of course I know you like some of the spicy stuff, but are you always the spicy guy?
Oh yeah, um, probably all around favorite food would probably be Mexican.
Mhm.
Um, Grew up in Phoenix, and it's everywhere. It's always good. Or I guess Thai food. I like Thai food a lot.
Mhm.
Probably
That's
Thai or
good.
Mexican
Yeah,
would be my first choices because you can make both those very spicy if
that's
you
true.
are so inclined as well. So
That's true. In fact, I'm kind of like craving those like kind of spicy peanut noodle things they have. I don't know if you've heard of that. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, like I like a lot of Asian food in general. I think it's probably the most diverse type of food you can come across. Have you ever tried to get the other guys to eat spicy food with you?
yeah, Sammy can hang. Sammy loves it.
Oh, really?
Then like some spicy stuff, not like extreme,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, he can't hang with like he can't even have like green peppers in his food. Like
What? What? Oh my god.
TA can't handle the heat. But yeah, Sammy and I we like really, really hot stuff, so we'll trade each other, hot sauces, and yeah, we love all that shit. So
Hmm. That's so sweet. You guys are like hot sauce besties.
that's right.
I am not pushing that.
Nice. Well, let me just try to think of something really cool and awesome before we go. You know what? Here, how about this? I have two final questions. What is your favorite song from Angels Hung from the Arches of Heaven? Just favorite overall.
Probably Neil.
Yeah,
I think it's track 9.
yeah. Well, one of the last tracks. I don't remember the number.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one because I don't know. It's got a little bit of everything. It's just
Hmm.
kind of no bullshit, no frills, just punky thrash kind of ripper of a song. And it's got that kind of chugging middle section and picks up at the end. I don't know. It's just a fun song. It's not too long. It's just kind of like straight and to the point. It's fun to
Hmm.
play live.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just anytime that I put that one on, it's kind of gets my blood pumping. So yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
I like all the songs. I think they all came out cool, but yeah, something about Neil just like, makes me want to. I don't know.
Yeah, break some shit, destroy something maybe. I don't know.
I say that, but that's cliche, and I don't want to break
Oh,
anything.
I mean, that's I think probably your guys' fastest song. Um, I'm pretty sure.
There's faster, but
I think it's the fastest one you play at least. So maybe. Whatever. You know what? Um,
maxed out. So I know all
yeah.
these, but it's
Oh, really?
it's a quick one for sure. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
All
sounds
right.
like fun.
Well, my final question is, would you guys ever play Weight of a Soulless Heart live?
Yeah, I think we definitely would.
Mm-hmm.
We never really talked about it.
Yeah.
Um, I think yeah. So far there's like only 3 songs that we haven't done off Angels live yet. That's one of them. So maybe at some point.
Is that counting Invocation 3?
Oh no, we don't count that. Technically, we have been playing it because we use it as an intro.
Oh, yeah.
So technically, it's yeah.
I'm
But,
trying to think.
yeah, maybe at some point we'll bust out "Weight of a Soulless Heart." We'll have to see, but we're adding another one we haven't played yet for this next U.S. tour. So
Mm.
maybe that one will be for the tour after that. Who knows?
What, like a whole brand new song?
Yeah, we have too many songs. I don't know. It's hard to.
You know, I've seen you guys now over like 5 sometimes, and not once have you guys played anything off the first album. I'm waiting.
Yeah, well, maybe next year.
Never. Yeah, no, it's fine. You can just say fuck you. We're not doing that. Anyway, well, I'm sure. I'm sure. But here, let me just finish this up then. But I really want to say thank you. Thank you so much for taking out the time in your day, in your life. Oh my god, to be on here. This was really fun. Thank you so much.